So let's start with a really common and I think deeply frustrating scenario. It's that feeling where, you understand the grammar perfectly. It's all there in your head. You've got the vocabulary, thousands of words.
Right. You've done the work. You've studied.
Exactly. You listen to hours of English content, movies, podcasts, you name it. But then the moment comes.
The real world moment.
Yeah, the job interview, a networking event, or even just, wanting to share a simple idea. And what happens?
Nothing.
Nothing. Your voice freezes, your lips feel heavy, and your brain just goes completely blank. That perfect sentence you had 5 seconds ago, it's gone.
It's that feeling of being trapped between knowing and actually doing.
Exactly. This is the deep dive, and today we are skipping all the standard advice that keeps you stuck in that trap. We're cutting straight to the core of the problem by diving deep into a simple but incredibly powerful set of instructions focused on practical physical training for spoken English.
This is the missing piece for so many learners.
It is. Our mission today is really direct. We want to understand why speaking is a physical skill, and then show you how to build that essential muscle memory, that automatic, effortless response for real fluency. And often, it just takes 5 minutes a day.
Just 5 minutes. It's about consistency, not time.
Right. And the resource we're breaking down today comes from the specialized native ear approach to language learning. And this approach, it doesn't focus on memorization. It's all about transformation through active physical practice.
Action.
So before we jump in, I want to be really clear about the results you're going to get. There are 5 key takeaways you can start using today just by sticking with us for this deep dive.
Okay.
First, you're going to truly grasp the fact that speaking English is a muscular skill. It involves your lips, your tongue, your jaw. It's not just a mental game.
That's the foundational truth right there.
Second, you will walk away with a complete, easy-to-follow 5-minute daily routine. It's designed specifically to train your mouth muscles like an athlete.
A daily gym for your mouth.
Exactly. Third, you will learn the actual mechanism of fluency. We're talking about sound clusters and using rhythm to make your speech flow like music, not like a robot.
Getting rid of that choppy word-by-word speech.
Fourth, we will show you how to train your brain to overcome that debilitating fear and self-doubt so you can speak with real emotion and power.
The mental side, it's just as important as the physical.
And finally, you will master the smart, scientific way to repeat phrases. It's a 5-stage system designed for deep, lasting, lifetime fluency.
Not just mindless repetition, smart repetition.
Right. And to guide us through all of this practical material, I am thrilled to introduce Jordan, an instructor who specializes in this kind of clear, engaging teaching that helps learners turn knowledge into real action.
Thank you. I'm really excited for this deep dive, this topic. I mean, this is the secret key that unlocks the door for so many people. We're getting right to that silent frustration that holds countless learners back.
Absolutely. So I'll ask you, the listener, directly, how many opportunities have you missed? A potential job, a new friendship, a moment of self-expression, just because your voice froze or the words came out too slow to matter?
It's a painful question, but an important one.
Let's fix that today. Let's build that automatic confidence. And please do not miss these useful lessons. If you find this valuable, take a second right now to like this deep dive, subscribe to the Native Ear channel for more content like this, and share it with anyone you know who's struggling with that gap between knowing English and speaking it. Okay, Jordan, let's unpack this shocking truth that's at the heart of this whole approach. We're so conditioned to think language learning is all mental, vocabulary lists, grammar exercises.
That was in the brain. That's what we're told.
But the source material we're looking at makes it a pretty brutal diagnosis. It says the problem isn't a knowledge deficit. It's a physical one. It's the untrained mouth.
And that is the core revelation. I mean, think about it. We spend years, sometimes decades, training the brain. We fill it with complex grammar rules, thousands and thousands of words. But we completely neglect the physical instrument we need to actually use that knowledge. It's like a pianist who reads every book on piano technique, but never actually sits down and touches the keys.
So they know the theory inside and out, but their fingers have zero physical memory of the movements.
Exactly. In English, just like any language, it requires a specific and sometimes really intense physical choreography from the muscles in your mouth.
A choreography, I like that. It's not just random movements.
Not at all. The stress patterns in English, for example, demand a much higher energy level and faster changes in pitch than a lot of other languages. If you haven't built up that physical dexterity, that speed, well, of course your mouth is going to stumble.
So your mental knowledge is basically useless if the physical parts can't keep up.
Precisely. This brings us to that fitness analogy, which I think illustrates the point so perfectly.
Let's really dig into that. The person who knows how to do a perfect push-up.
Right. So in their mind, it's crystal clear. They know the angle of the elbows, the breathing, how to engage the core. They could write a book about it.
They have the knowledge.
They have 100% of the knowledge, but then they get down on the floor to actually do one, and what happens? Their muscles, their arms, their chest, their core, they're just too weak. They collapse.
The knowledge is there, but the physical capacity is zero.
And that is a perfect analogy for speaking English. The learners know the words, they know the rules, but when they need to speak quickly, say a 7-word sentence in 2 seconds, their articulation muscles just fail.
They can't move fast enough or smoothly enough under pressure.
Exactly. And we need to be really specific about what muscles we're talking about. It's the tiny, fast twitch muscles of the tongue, the subtle positioning of your lips, the relaxation and speed of your jaw.
All things we never think about.
Never. And if you're learning English, these muscles are basically lazy because they've been conditioned since you were a child to operate on the totally different sound patterns of your native language.
And this is what the source calls mouth laziness. But it's not a moral failing, right?
Right.
It's just a physical habit.
It's purely habitual. Think about it. In your native language, you make sounds effortlessly. Your tongue touches the back of your teeth. Your lips form an O shape. You've done these movements millions of times.
They're completely subconscious.
And fast.
Incredibly fast.
Yeah.
But then English comes along and introduces brand new physical demands. You mentioned the th sound earlier.
Yeah.
Can we just break down the physics of that one sound?
Yeah, let's do that, because it's a huge stumbling block for so many people.
Okay, so the sound, both the voiced one in this and the unvoiced one in think.
Yeah.
It's a biomechanical challenge. It requires you to place the very tip of your tongue between your upper and lower teeth.
Right. Which feels very strange for a lot of people. It feels incredibly unnatural if your native language keeps the tongue safely behind the teeth, which many, many languages do. So when a learner sees a sentence like, "I think this thing is true,"
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's 3 of those high-precision movements right in a row.
in rapid succession. And if the muscles aren't trained, what does the learner do? They instinctively revert to the closest comfortable sound. They'll say tink or dink or sink or zinc.
And they do that not because they don't know the rule.
No, it's because their mouth physically refuses to perform the high-speed choreography required. And the moment that physical flow breaks, the moment they mumble or hesitate,
Confidence just dies.
it dies. The internal panic starts, the voice slows down, and the conversation grinds to a halt.
So when learners say, "I understand everything, but I cannot speak," we have to reframe that.
We have to. They're not lacking intelligence or vocabulary. They're trying to use a highly trained mind to command a weak, untrained physical instrument.
And that's actually a really liberating idea. It takes the problem away from some mysterious talent and puts it into the realm of simple, consistent training.
Absolutely. And that's the good news here. These muscles, they respond to training just like any other muscle in your body. You don't need hours a day. You don't need perfect grammar to start. You just need short, focused bursts of physical practice.
It's about movement, not just memorization.
That's the path forward.
Okay, so now that we've established that speaking is a physical skill, let's get into the concrete solution. And the source material makes this incredible promise. 5 minutes a day, consistently, for 30 days.
That's all it takes to see a fundamental change, not just in how English sounds coming out of your mouth, but how you feel about your own voice.
The key word there is consistently.
It is. You have to think of this 5-minute routine as your daily English gym session. We are not reviewing information here. We are training a high-performance muscle. We're building muscle memory.
Because reading is knowledge, but speaking is movement.
And movement requires muscle training. Always remember that.
All right, let's get right into the system. Step 1, the mouth warm-up. It's just 1 minute. But why do we need to stretch? We never think about stretching our faces before we talk.
Well, because your mouth is probably resting in the default posture of your native language, which for many people involves a lot less movement, a lot less energy. So just like an athlete warming up, your mouth needs to shift gears. It needs to get into English mode.
So we're loosening things up, getting rid of stiffness.
Exactly. We're activating the specific muscles needed for the broader range of movement and the higher energy that English demands.
So tell us exactly what to do for that minute. Let's break down these movements slowly so everyone can follow.
Okay, we start with lip rolls. You gently buzz your lips together, making that brr sound, kind of like a motorboat.
Okay.
You hold that for about 5 seconds, then rest and repeat it 3 times. You should feel a little tingling, a sense of relaxation around your lips. This is crucial for sounds like P, B, and W.
Simple enough. What's next for the tongue?
Next is the tongue stretch. This is all about dexterity. You just push your tongue straight out of your mouth, stretch it as far as you comfortably can, hold it, and then slowly pull it back in.
And you do that 10 times.
10 times, nice and slow. This is vital for those really tricky English sounds like L and R and that the we were just talking about. It builds the required dexterity.
Makes sense. And what about the jaw? I know I hold a lot of tension there.
Most of us do. So for jaw loosening, you just open and close your mouth wide, very gently, 5 times. Don't force it. The goal is just to release that stiffness. A tight jaw leads to mumbling. Releasing it improves your clarity immediately.
And the last one is the smile stretch.
Yes. Stretch your smile as wide as you can, like you're laughing dramatically. Hold that big stretch for 5 seconds, relax, and then do it one more time. This activates the muscles you need for the higher, more forward sounds in English. After this, your mouth is literally ready to go.
So the mouth is warm and loose. Now, for the next minute, we need to tackle the psychological side. Step 2. The mirror technique. 1 minute. Why is just looking at ourselves so important?
It's about confronting that self-doubt head on. The mirror is your most honest coach. The voice inside your head, you know it sounds perfect. But the voice that actually comes out, the face you see making the sounds, that can trigger so much fear and self-judgment.
So by doing this, you're facing that fear directly.
You are. And the procedure is simple. You stand in front of a mirror, you make direct eye contact with yourself, and you choose one simple, positive English sentence.
Something like, I am learning to speak confidently, or this is my voice, I own it.
Yes, affirmations work really well here. And you say the sentence slowly, watching the physical movement of your lips, your jaw. You feel the sound. Then you repeat it 5 times, getting a little faster each time, but always maintaining that eye contact.
So is the main benefit seeing the mouth movements, or is it more than that?
It's so much more psychological than physical. It kills the fear of judgment. You simply cannot build real speaking confidence if you're afraid to look at yourself and hear your own voice. You're building what we call speaking presence.
I can see how that would feel really awkward at first.
Oh, it will. For the first few days, it feels strange. But the source guarantees that by day 10, you start to feel powerful because you're gaining control over your own voice, both physically and mentally.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that brings us to step 3, shadow speaking. This is 2 minutes, and it sounds like a really high-intensity workout.
It is. And this is the genius part of the routine because it bypasses that slow, analytical part of your brain. Shadow speaking is simple. You listen to a short audio clip, maybe 5 to 10 seconds from a movie or a video, and you immediately repeat it out loud.
And you're not just repeating the words.
No, that's the key. You're trying to match everything exactly. The speed, the rhythm, the tone, the emotion of the original speaker.
So if the original says, did you really think that was a good idea? With a rising tone, your goal is to replicate that exact musical phrase instantly.
Precisely. You are not practicing your version of the sentence. You are matching the native speed. You have to treat it as pure muscle training and sound imitation. Even if you miss a few words, the rhythm is the most important part.
Now, here's a question that comes to mind. If you're only focused on speed and rhythm, is there a risk of reinforcing bad pronunciation habits?
That's a critical question. And the answer is you should choose material that is just slightly above your comfortable speed, but still clear to you. The focus isn't on perfection, it's on flow. By chasing the rhythm, you naturally force your mouth to link sounds and use reductions.
Things that are vital to fluency.
Exactly. It breaks that robotic word-by-word habit. In fluency training, accuracy often follows speed, not the other way around. Shadowing trains your ears, mouth, and brain to work together as a single unit.
Got it. Training the reflex, not the rule. Okay, finally, step 4, the fluency loop. 1 minute to finish strong.
This drill is essential for locking in the new movements. You take one sentence and you repeat it in a loop of 3 different speeds. Slow, normal, and fast.
Okay, let's use a different example sentence like, I will call you back immediately. How would that work?
So first, the slow repetition. You say it with extreme clarity, emphasizing every sound. I will call you back immediately. This is for physical precision.
And then normal.
Right. Normal speed, smooth and steady. I will call you back immediately. This establishes a comfortable flow.
Finally, fast.
Fast. Linked, confident, using contractions, just like you would in a real conversation. I'll call you back immediately. And you cycle through that loop slow, normal, fast, 3 to 5 times within the minute.
The source is to stick with just a few sentences for several days. Why is repeating the same sentence so important here?
Because the goal is automaticity. We want the brain to register the movement as easy and create a reliable pathway. When you master the physical articulation of a few powerful sentences, you get a core feeling of being fluent.
And that confidence is transferable.
It's a massive psychological boost built on real physical proof.
So, to review the whole system, 1 minute warm-up, 1 minute with the mirror, 2 minutes of shadow speaking, and 1 minute for the fluency loop. 5 minutes total.
That is your daily English gym, and most learners skip this completely. They just consume information and stay stuck. This 5-minute system is the key to getting unstuck.
So we've warmed up the mouth, we've trained the reaction speed. Now we have to talk about what actually makes spoken English sound natural. The flow, the music.
This is where we tackle what we call the robot problem.
The robot problem. Explain that.
It's when a learner speaks with perfect grammar, perfect individual words, but the speech is just flat. It's slow, it's mechanical, there's a full stop after every single word.
Right. They're missing the secret sauce.
They are, and that secret is sound clusters. Native speakers don't speak in individual words. We speak in groups of sounds that flow together like music. We use word linking, reductions, rhythm. It's what we call speech music.
So fluency is defined more by this rhythm than by how many words you know.
Far more. A sound cluster is basically a group of 3 to 6 words that you say together with no stop or space. It functions as one smooth unit of sound.
It's about turning English into a melody, not just a list of beats.
That's a perfect analogy. You wouldn't play a song by hitting one note, stopping, hitting the next note, stopping.
No, you connect them into a phrase.
English works the exact same way.
Yeah.
We have to train the mouth to link sounds for efficiency.
Okay, let's analyze some specific examples of this linking, focusing on how the sounds actually change when they flow together.
Let's take a common one. I'm going to go now.
A learner might say that very clearly. I am going to go now. It sounds very formal and slow.
Right. But the fluent cluster compresses it. Going to becomes the familiar gonna. So the whole thing is delivered as one unit. I'm going to go now.
The usage here is all about efficiency.
It's about your mouth moving as little as possible to get the meaning across. Probably 3 syllables shorter than the written version.
Let's do another one. How about I have to find it?
Okay, again, a learner might say every sound have to. But in natural speech, have to almost always becomes hafta.
So the fluent cluster is I have to find it.
I have to find it, exactly. The V sound just disappears or changes to an F sound before the 2. It becomes a single smooth movement.
And what about when consonants link together, like in I need to talk?
In that case, the D at the end of need and the T at the start of to, they blend together. They're so tight that the T almost becomes silent. It just flows. I need to talk.
So how do we train this? The source gives a really brilliant 5-step daily practice for it. Step 1 is to choose 3 clusters every day.
Right. Pick common high-frequency phrases you know you'll use. Things like, tell me about it, or can you help me, or what do you want? Write them down and see them as single units of sound.
And step 2 is the really interesting part. Speak them like a song.
This is where you put rhythm into it. You repeat the cluster 10 times with a steady beat, almost like a rap or a chant. So if the cluster is, let me know, you repeat, let me know, let me know, let me know.
Why is that rhythm so effective?
Because rhythm bypasses the analytical part of the brain and locks the phrase directly into your motor memory. Rhythm creates memory. Your mouth starts to feel the natural speed, and soon it becomes an automatic habit.
It turns language from data into a physical performance.
That's it. Step 3 is to then create your own sentence with that cluster. So you take, can you help me? And you put it into a full sentence like, excuse me, can you help me find the main entrance? And you say the whole thing as one smooth unit 5 times.
So that's the bridge from the drill to the real world.
It is. And step 4, which is non-negotiable, record your voice daily.
We need that objective feedback.
You have to use your phone, record your 3 clusters and your 3 sentences. And here's the key. You listen back not for mistakes, but for flow. Are the words linking? Is the speed consistent? You become your own coach.
And the final step, step 5, music track practice.
Yeah, this is a great one. Put on some soft rhythmic background music, no lyrics, and practice speaking your clusters right on the beat.
What does that do?
It trains your breath control. and helps you maintain a continuous flow. It forces you to resist that urge to stop after every word. It reinforces that English is a language of flowing sound.
Okay, to give everyone listening something to try right now, let's go over 5 of these secret fluent phrases. Listen closely and try to repeat them with us, focusing on the flow.
Okay, what do you think? Often becomes, what do you think?
Notice how "what do you" just compresses into one sound.
Let me help you becomes, let me help you.
And "d" and "let" almost disappears, doesn't it?
It does. Give me a minute becomes, give me a minute.
It becomes "gimme." That's a classic.
I have gotta go becomes, I gotta go.
I have gotta reduces all the way down to "I gotta."
And finally, I want to do it becomes, I want to do it.
Want to becomes wanna. That speeds things up so much. The conclusion here is that real fluency isn't about having a perfect accent. It's about being smooth, clear, and confident.
And sound clusters are the heartbeat of that confident speech. So we've built the physical foundation, but now we have to talk about the mind. Because here's the painful truth. You can have the best trained mouth in the world, but if your mind is frozen with fear and self-doubt, it's all for nothing.
That internal voice just takes over. What if I sound stupid? What if my accent is bad? What if I use the wrong grammar?
And it's paralyzing. The moment that internal judgment kicks in, your voice breaks. The fluency dies before you can even get the first word out.
It's that analogy again. The brain is the pilot, the mouth is the airplane.
Exactly. And if the pilot is nervous, if the pilot is constantly second-guessing every move, that plane is never going to fly smoothly, no matter how good the engine is. We have to upgrade the mental software.
So how do we do that? Step 1 is a big one. Speak with emotion, not just accuracy.
This is the mistake almost every learner makes. They focus obsessively on being correct, the right tense, the right vocabulary, instead of focusing on connection, on energy, on emotion.
We have to remember that communication is, 7% words and 93% everything else.
Right. Tone, energy, body language. People don't remember your small grammar mistakes. They remember your energy. They remember your confidence. They remember if they felt a connection with you.
So you have to train your brain to feel the sentence first and worry about calculating the words second.
Precisely.
But Jordan, couldn't focusing on emotion distract from getting the grammar right, especially for intermediate learners who still need that drill? It seems a bit counterintuitive.
It's about your priority in the moment of speaking. If you prioritize emotion, you force yourself to project energy. That naturally increases your volume, your speed, your confidence. And confident delivery actually masks small errors.
So if you say, "I am happy to be here," with a huge smile and real eye contact,
the listener registers happiness and connection. But if you say the exact same words with perfect grammar but the tone of a robot, the listener registers awkwardness. We have to consciously connect the sound to the feeling.
which leads right into step 2. Speak like an actor, not a student.
Stop practicing like you're worried about a grade. Start practicing like an actor whose only job is to live inside the role.
And the technique for this is really simple but powerful. You pick a short sentence like, "This is absolutely crazy."
Right. And you practice saying that one sentence with 3 completely different exaggerated emotions. Say it like you're incredibly excited, then say it like you're really suspicious, and then say it like you're deeply disappointed.
What does that acting do to the brain?
It frees your brain from judgment. You're no longer you trying to speak English, you're a character delivering a line. Your brain stops calculating and starts expressing. Fluency is about freedom of feeling, not freedom from mistakes.
Okay, step 3. This tackles the biggest thief of fluency, translation. We need to create mental shortcuts.
Right. The conventional path thinking in your native language, translating to English, then speaking, is the slowest possible way to communicate. We have to install what we call the "this means that" system.
So you're training the brain to connect an English phrase directly to an image or an emotion, completely bypassing translation.
You're building direct neural connections. For example, when you hear the phrase "hang tight," your brain shouldn't translate "hang" and "tight."
No, it should instantly connect to the feeling of patiently wait here for a moment.
Exactly. It's a thought-free understanding. It becomes a fluency trigger, or another one, we need to cut corners.
That should immediately trigger the image of finding the cheapest, fastest, maybe lower quality way to do something.
Not the literal image of slicing a piece of paper. You have to focus on the real-life meaning and context. You can use flashcards or sticky notes for this, where you write the real meaning next to the phrase, not the translation.
You're conditioning your brain to skip that slow step. And finally, step 4 is the full body approach. Combine emotion, voice, and movement.
This supercharges the brain-mouth connection. You have to get your whole body involved. Stand up, use hand gestures, change your posture, speak with your entire physical self.
Why does involving the body help the brain remember the language better?
It creates much stronger memory anchors. When you connect language to a physical movement and emotion in your voice, the information gets stored deeper in the motor memory circuits of the brain. You stop reciting English and you start performing it.
Your voice gets louder, your speech gets clearer, your confidence grows.
It's undeniable. So let's quickly summarize that 5-minute daily routine for the brain and mouth together.
Okay. The mental workout.
1 minute. Say 3 sentences with full, exaggerated emotion. 1 minute. Act out each sentence like you're in a movie. 1 minute. Repeat them while walking around, using your body. 1 minute. Go to the mirror and deliver them with power and conviction. And 1 minute. Record yourself and listen back only for the energy, not the mistakes.
It's about forging a new speaking identity.
If you skip this mental work, you'll always feel like you're just reciting from a book. But when you integrate all these parts, emotion, voice, body, thought, you truly become a confident speaker. We have to finish with a really deep analytical look at repetition, because most learners get this completely wrong. They think repetition is just saying something over and over again.
Right. The classic approach of picking a sentence and just repeating it 10 times with the same flat, monotone voice.
And that kind of repetition builds stagnation, not fluency. Your brain checks out, your mouth gets lazy, you make zero progress because there's no quality or variety.
So why do we repeat, if not for memorization?
We repeat to build mouth memory, to increase our reaction speed, to solidify the sound muscle, to embed emotion and flow, and to build confidence under pressure. Repetition should never be about saying it again. It should be about saying it better and differently each time.
Okay, let's break down this speak like a human, not a machine, 5-stage system. Let's use the example sentence. I am confident I can handle this.
Great. Stage 1 is slow clarity repetition, 1 minute.
And the procedure here is to speak the sentence very slowly, deliberately, stretching out the vowels and feeling your mouth shape every single word. I am confident I can handle this. You do that 3 times. What's the specific purpose of going that slow?
This is your foundational muscle training. You are teaching your tongue and lips the perfect physical movements for articulation. By slowing down, you create a perfect motor memory blueprint before you ever add speed.
Makes sense. Okay, stage 2, flow repetition. Another minute.
Now, you say the same sentence in one smooth, connected line. You focus entirely on the sound clusters and linking the words at a normal conversational speed. I'm confident I can handle this. Repeat that 5 times.
So this stage is specifically training for real-life speaking, speed, and breath control.
Exactly. Now, stage 3, emotion repetition. 1 minute. This is where you train the versatility of your voice. You take that same sentence and say it with 3 different strong feelings.
Okay, let's try that. First, with complete decisive conviction.
I am confident I can handle this. Loud, firm, projected.
Now, what about with, say, quiet self-encouragement? Almost hesitant.
I am confident I can handle this. Soft, internal, maybe a bit questioning.
And a third one. How about lighthearted sarcasm?
Oh yeah, I am confident I can handle this with a roll of the eyes. You repeat it 3 times per motion. This teaches the brain to use English as a tool for expression, not just data transfer.
I love that. Okay, stage 4 is pressure repetition. The speed drill. 1 minute.
This is where you challenge your motor skills. You say the sentence as fast as you can while maintaining control. 5 rapid repetitions. The goal is to teach the brain and mouth to react without thinking, to build that thought-free reflex you need in a real conversation.
It builds your ability to speak under pressure.
It does. And finally, stage 5, real-world use repetition. 1 minute. This is the application stage.
So you're embedding the sentence into specific situations.
Exactly. You apply the sentence in 3 different emotionally charged contexts. This forces the brain to link the phrase to a real situation, not just a definition.
Okay, let's use our sentence, I am confident I can handle this, in 3 contexts. First, a job interview.
You might say, yes, this project is complex, but I have the experience. I am confident I can handle this starting tomorrow. The tone is professional. Serious.
Okay. Second, a stressful family crisis. You need to sound calm.
The situation is bad, I know, but we have a plan. Take a deep breath. I am confident I can handle this. The tone is calm, reassuring.
And third, a funny, self-deprecating context, like you're trying to build some impossible piece of furniture.
You'd say, it looks like a nightmare, but give me an hour. I am confident I can handle this. The tone is humorous, determined.
Oh, wow. This five-stage approach turns one sentence from just a piece of data into this incredibly versatile tool layered with fluency, sound memory, and real-world confidence.
And that's why the source emphasizes choosing powerful, personal sentences for this, something that embodies your goals. English is my future, and I will own it.
This commitment to quality, varied repetition, it feels like the final bridge to cross.
It's the invisible work that every single successful speaker has done. This is how they built the voice that you now admire.
So let's summarize the two paths we've really laid out today. On one side, you've got the passive learner. They consume hours and hours of English content. They take notes, they buy the apps, but they do zero active physical practice. They stay stuck.
They're consuming, but they're not transforming.
Right. And on the other side, you have the fluent speaker. They choose one powerful sentence, and they repeat it actively in 5 different ways. They stand in front of the mirror, they train their voice, their mouth, their rhythm, every single day for 5 focused minutes.
They are transforming, not just accumulating data.
And the final truth here is so empowering. It's that you are not bad at English. You're just not practicing the right way with enough consistency and focus on the physical side of it.
Training is the secret. It's not about motivation or some kind of natural talent. It's about the work.
And when other people hear your fluent voice, they're not going to see all those silent, awkward 5-minute training sessions you did.
No, they'll only hear the results, and they'll know that you earned it.
Fluency isn't some destination you arrive at one day. It's a decision you make every day.
It's the commitment to say, I will train my mouth today. It's time to let go of that fear of sounding awkward or making mistakes. You have to embrace the feeling of your muscles moving in a new way.
We really want to encourage you right now to stand up and say this out loud with your full voice.
Yeah.
I will no longer be silent. I will train my mouth every day.
And remember this final thought. The most fluent people are not the smartest people. They're not the luckiest. They are simply the ones who refuse to stay silent and commit to consistent physical training. Fluency begins the moment your fear ends. It's time to speak. This voice is yours. Claim it.